Good evening, good evening, good evening. It's Leon Street here, Visionary Marketing back in the house. And today's topic is how to dive into your niche's emotions and keep your marketing ethical. And this was a topic that I touched on earlier today in one of my group coaching sessions with my clients. And I thought it was aptly appropriate to deliver to you guys. And so I'm going to bring, I guess, a few ideas and a few areas that I believe that, can help you in your business to take your results to the next level by looking at what emotions you need to be triggering in your audience in order to take your marketing results, especially lead generation, to the next level. So before we get into the main content and what I want to talk about, remember, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're live on YouTube right now, live on Facebook, on various channels. But I'd love for you to join me over on YouTube. Just go to leonstreet.com/YouTube. Go there. You'll be redirected to the channel where you can subscribe straight away and click on the notification bell to be notified of all upcoming videos. So emotions. And I guess today I want to just dig in, and I've not got lots prepared for you like I normally do. I want to share some stories, and I hope the stories inspire you into how you can get better results in your marketing. And if you're looking to generate more leads, just give me a comment yes below this video right now, because then I'll have something special for you guys a bit later on. So you want to generate more leads, just comment yes, and it's going to dovetail and link in with what I'm talking about with emotions. So let me get into this. One of the biggest things that I come across, especially when people are getting into marketing, is that they play safe, and they play safe by marketing like everybody else, the masses. And what I mean by that is they put out kind of nice messages, nice posts, nice blogs, nice articles, and a lot of these things are educational. And you might think, well, what's wrong with that, Leon? Educational is good. Surely we're educating our audience. Well, yes and no. So let me explain. Do you remember at high school or even primary school where you'd be in a class and you were taught something and by a teacher, could be your favorite teacher or just any teacher from any subject, and you think, well, that was cool, that was okay, but it really didn't kind of push you to the next level. Now compare that to where you were taught by a teacher that you really enjoy being taught by, your favorite teacher. It could be a specific subject, or just the teacher was really cool, dynamic, and they got you to enjoy things because of the way that they pushed you. And even when some of the lessons were, let's say, boring lessons, it still was a good lesson because of the teacher. So think of yourself now as that great teacher. And so when you publish content, you want the content to trigger people in that same way, to trigger your audience in the same way. And what happens is a lot of us and a lot of business owners, I'm not including myself at the moment, but a lot of business owners, what happens is they play safe and they deliver just good enough content, or content they feel will help people, i.e. give them some free tips and some free steps. And I'm going to share with you what's wrong with that. And you might be thinking, well, surely that's right. People talk about 3 secrets, 3 keys, 3 this, 5 steps, 10 steps, in lead magnets and all these different marketing terms. But I want to share what is wrong with that. The thing that's wrong with that is what comes before your 3 steps, your 3 secrets and your 3 keys and all that jazz. What comes before that is truly understanding your audience from the perspective of what are their frustrations, what are their fears, what are their wants, i.e. the results they want to achieve, and what are their aspirations. Now, when you start to look at your audience from that perspective, you instantly move into what's going on with them in terms of emotions. Because if you think about your audience, look at their frustrations. It's so easy, to look at frustrations. Typical ones for me, for business owners, they're frustrated with not understanding marketing strategy, slow lead flow, not knowing how to sell confidently or sell high ticket services confidently, not knowing how to create or generate consistent lead flow. And for me, I know the emotions off the back of that are frustration, anxiety, depression, fear because of poor or slow or low results, meaning that it starts to trigger the pain in them, right? And fear is one of the biggest things, because fear is obviously, something that has yet to pass, but it's not real. It's something that we create, psychologically. And so when you start to look at your audience from the perspective of what are their frustrations and what are their wants, results, meaning their desires, you're instantly in this place of emotion. And what tends to happen is people, quite often, a lot of business owners, coaches, consultants, experts, for instance, they may put a blog together or a social media post, and the post just dives into, let me share something helpful, like some tips, some steps, and so on and so forth. But the problem that you've got with that is that a lot of the time you're sharing tips from a logical perspective. Let me give you steps 1 to 3 or 1 to 10 on how to fix this problem, but it doesn't dive into the emotion. And this is where business owners, lose out. And if you've done this in the past, where you published a great article or a blog, or you published a number of social media posts and you haven't got the response you were looking for, I'm sorry to say, but it's probably because it's lacking the kind of emotion that moves a person to take action with you, or moves a person to actually even engage on your social media post, whether that's a comment or a like. It doesn't really matter. And I'm not talking about your friends or your fans or just people who follow you, just liking when they see your stuff because they support you, because that exists too. I'm talking about genuine leads, people who could potentially be your perfect client. So how do you change your approach to marketing? Well, it's very simple. You take the frustrations and you take the results or the desires that your audience want, and you create content around those 2 areas. Yeah. So let me say that again. You take the frustrations of your audience, which there are going to be many. I mean, you probably can reel off about 20 without even, breaking a sweat. And you look at the desires, the results your audience want to achieve or have in their life, and you create content around that. Once you start to do that, and whether you directly create content yourself, or you have, for instance, like a social media agency or a social media VA, PA, whatever it is, that's the kind of content that they need to be creating, or at least you need to be creating and directing them to follow your lead. So let's have a look at this from a different perspective then. I'm saying to you, use frustrations and therefore the desires of your audience in your marketing, which can be videos, can be live streams, just like what I'm doing right now. It can be just normal text posts. It can be images, Instagram, where you've got a video or a picture, and then you've got in the caption something that kind of expands on what it is that you're saying in the video or showing in a picture. And for me, the moment that you start to do this, you trigger people, because if you've got enough connections who are in your target audience, they're going to see that actually what you're talking about connects with them. Why does it connect with them? Because frustrations and desires, they drive the very, I guess, essence of being human, because we have these things that we want. We want to get away from pain, or we want to go towards whatever the reward is, which is frustrations and results, desires. So for me, when you start to inject this into your marketing, it massively changes the results that you have. So as an example, I gave one of my clients, I use these 15 templates in my coaching programs that I give to my clients to use. One of my clients used one, and then he generated, I don't know, something like 52 leads in 48 hours, in 2 days. Off the back of that, he was able to convert from those leads something like £20,000 just gone in February. His previous month's results was something like £2,000. He probably just scraped into that. And so in 1 month, he'd taken his existing audience who weren't really responding in the way that he wanted, put out a post that injected the frustrations or the aspirations. It was actually the aspirations, the results, the desires that his audience wanted, and was able to generate £20,000. And when you look at that, it's pretty phenomenal. One social media post, and it was not a video. It was a text post posted on Instagram, and then it was duplicated onto Facebook, a text post. Got another example. I did the same thing not so long ago. So I posted a specific post, shared it on Instagram, shared it on Facebook. And off the back of that, I was able to generate organically, just off that post, something like £15,000. One post. Yeah. And so the reason why I'm sharing this with you is the more you focus on what drives your audience emotionally, not logically all the time. It's okay to have a few logical, let's say, social media posts that are scattered in between your emotional ones. But the point I'm getting to is that the more emotion you inject into your marketing, the better results you're going to get. You know, it goes without saying that when you do marketing, obviously your message has to be focused on your niche, your target audience has to speak to them. So when you speak to them, plus you add in the emotion of what's going to drive people to take action, honestly, it's like a formula for, you know, just collecting cash, because people are going to start to interact with you. People are going to start to say, hey, Leon, can you tell me more about how you help people go to 10,000 plus a month using organic marketing or using paid advertising on YouTube? And that's what you want. You want people reaching out to you, connecting to you and connecting with you because of the things that you can help them either to aspire to, the results that they want, or to get beyond the frustrations that they're currently experiencing. Now, you know, if you're watching this, whether you're watching this back on the replay or you're watching this live, what's the current frustration that your audience has right now? Yeah, think about that. Just name one. Comment below this video with the number one frustration that your audience has. And I guarantee you that off the back of that frustration, I'm going to do something better than that. If you put down your frustration with your audience right now, just think of one, or the number one that you can think of, the key frustration. You put that below this video and I'll give you a template you can use to post and test if your audience are actually receptive to your messaging. Yeah. There's a lot of factors that go into obviously getting people to say, hey, I'm interested in your services. But put one frustration and I'll reach out to you directly via Messenger, and I'll send you a template that you can use to compare against your normal social media posts. Yeah, whether it's a video, whether it's a text post, it doesn't really matter. So if you comment below, as I said, number one frustration, and I'll send you on a DM an exact template you can use. If you're listening back to this on the podcast, guys, just jump on over to the YouTube channel, comment below the video, and I'll do the same thing for you. Once you comment, I'll send you the template that you can use for your own business to attract your own leads. So what's the next thing that I want to focus on with regards to injecting emotions? Now, the one thing that I want to touch on here is that whenever you create obviously social media and you inject emotion into your marketing, whether it's emails, social media, it really doesn't matter, or your advertising, one of the key things that I want you to understand in terms of being ethical is that you don't use it to manipulate for false advertising, meaning that you're making a promise that you can't live up to, you're making a promise that will never happen, or you're making a promise knowing, you know, intentionally that, you know, before a person has even bought from you, you just can't deliver the thing that you're saying. For me, this is where you cross the line of ethics. But what is okay is to use emotions in your marketing when you can deliver. You know, most of the people that I speak to week in and week out, whether it's, you know, clients, whether it's new leads, whether it's prospects, every one of them that I speak to, I'd say 99%, they can deliver what they say they can deliver. And so for me, I never have an issue with putting emotion into a marketing message, because I don't find that, you know, it's kind of deceitful or it's deceptive, so long as the person or the company delivers what they say they can deliver. And that's one of the key things. You know, for me, emotions aren't a place that you should shy away from. As human beings, if you are selling to another human being, whether they are the director of a company, the CEO, they're still a human being. And the way that you move people to take action is through emotion. People don't make choices based on logic. They justify their choice with logic after emotionally committing to making a decision. And this is the part where you win, guys. The more you dig into the emotions and the psychological effects of your audience, the more equipped you are to actually get better results. I'll give you one more story as well. I was working with a double glazing company about 3 years ago. So they reached out to me and they said, Leon, you know, we really want to take things to the next level. We just really want to accelerate the results. And I said, great, I know the perfect thing to do. So in my local city, I said, what we'll do is we'll blanket the city running Facebook ads, because their target audience, after a bit of research, we realized they're pretty much on Facebook. Double glazing company, most people are online, you know, doing their social media thing, and we can interrupt them with our ads. So I came up with a strategy to focus on what are the pains of buying double glazing, and what are the pains of buying, you know, different products around that, conservatories, or orangeries, that kind of stuff. And so I came up with, you know, a buyer's guide, and the buyer's guide focused on 4 different areas. It was like the 7 key things you need to understand from a double glazing company before you buy your windows and fall foul of being missold. And then there was a few other kind of sub chapters within this ebook. It was like a PDF guide, but it focused on the pains of buying, you know, double glazing for your property, where people spend anything from 10, 15, 20 to like £50,000, even up to £80,000 for an orangery. And then we also focused in this same guide, we had chapters, I don't know, it was like 20 pages. So the chapters were obviously very short, and there was chapters on aspirations. So what it will be like to own the kind of double glazing windows that this company offered. So we put together this guide, and then we created a series of something like 4 or 5 videos, right? And each video focused on the different chapters from this guide. And so what we did is we ran this paid advertising campaign through Facebook. The budget wasn't a huge budget. It was something like £1,000 a month, something like that, over the course of a year. So it was like £12,000, nothing major. And so we ran these videos, and the videos made the promise of getting this free guide. And the whole point of the guide was to get people to fill in their details so they could find out more and get a free quote plus the free guide, which is, you know, what people did. So we ran the advertising campaign filled with emotion, because it was filled with the frustrations of, you know, buying double glazing. And then it was also filled with the aspiration, the result that people wanted, which is to own it. So anyway, we ran the campaign. To cut a long story short, after 12 months, we generated over £1 million extra in revenue for the company just off the online campaign. More people were coming into the showroom, more people were inquiring online. And so it took their results to the next level. And off the back of something like £12,000 paid advertising, I mean, what a phenomenal result. Basically, we blanketed the city so well, so much even, that people would come into their showroom saying, we're fed up of seeing your ads on Facebook, so we've come in to find out, you know, about what you sell, which is double glazing. And off the back of that, they generated an extra £1 million. What a phenomenal result. But it was all driven by knowing the frustrations and knowing the results, the desired outcomes of the audience. And that was it. That's what we drove as the message. You know, if you'd like to get the case study of that double glazing company, it works in any industry, whether you're a coach, whether you're a consultant, whether you're a service-based business. The principles of marketing are the same, because all I did was take what I'd usually use with my coaching clients, business coaches, life coaches, and we applied it to this double glazing company. The double glazing company was a past historic client from one of my marketing agencies, and they just reached back out to me and said, Leon, we're interested in what you're doing now, this new stuff, let's take a look. And it was a flying success. So that's what I want to share with you guys. Inject more emotion. And emotions can be frustrations, so the kind of negative side, but there can also be the aspirational emotions, the desired outcome emotions, what people want to, you know, own or achieve, and what emotions come with that ownership or that experience of transformation. So the more you inject, believe me, the more you are going to find that people respond to you. And if you want to take me up on the offer of getting a free template for you to try on social media, simply comment below this video, whether it's on YouTube or Facebook, with the number 1 frustration that your audience are currently going through, and I'll create that template for you, send you the post. You can post it and tell me, you know, the difference between that post and your previous post, and see if it actually makes a difference for you and your business. So on that note, guys, I hope that has made sense. Inject more emotion, inject more frustration, inject more passion, more desire, you know, more fun. Just put that stuff into your marketing. I guarantee you're going to see differences in the results that you are generating. Look at these. These are results that I've had in recent months, where just off the back of posts, you can see, look, people have reached out to me. Can you let me know more what I need to do to sign up to your program? Other people wanting to book in for calls, people telling me that they're in. The reason why these results came in, I just inject emotion, knowing the frustrations and the desires of my audience. It's that simple, guys. When you do that, you know, this is where your social media, your organic social media, and even your ads will work. Instead of just posting stuff because that's what people tell you to do, you know, the Gary Vee style, keep posting, keep showing up, keep doing this. And you're thinking, well, where are these results going to come in? This is where it comes in, guys. So hopefully that has made sense. If you want help and you want to take things to the next level, and if you'd like the exact steps of how my clients create more sales through social media, comment Vortex below this video and I'll send you more details about how I can help you do that. And on that note, guys, if you've enjoyed the content, remember, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Would really appreciate it. Go to leonstreet.com/YouTube and click the subscribe button. Until Sunday morning, it is Sunday, 8:30 a.m. I'll be back. And remember, on Sunday mornings, we talk more about the mindset of running and owning your business and taking things to the next level. Have a great evening and take care. Bye-bye.